Today I've got a steering column out of a 2005 Trailblazer, and we're just going to break it down, see how everything goes together. Now, first need to remove the airbag. Small hole right there. There's a little clip inside. You have to push it down. I'll show you when the airbag's out exactly what I'm talking about, but just get an Allen or a small screwdriver, push it in there, and do the same on the other side. So once you detach the two pins, the airbag should pop out the front. Now, to show you what I mean, take your screwdriver or your Allen, push it through here. See that metal bar move? That's what you'll be pushing in on that side and that side. Airbag will come free. You just need to disconnect it. Looks like it comes off right here at the actual airbag. Alright, so the first thing you do is pop off the little yellow safety clip. Little screwdriver. Don't lose this piece if you're going to be reinstalling your airbag. Sometimes it comes off. I don't think you have to actually pull it off. There's a clip on each side. It needs to be pushed in here and one on the other side. Once you got both those off, you can remove your airbag. Next, you have to remove the two red wires. Little white connector right here. You just push it in, twist it to the side, and pull it out. And it may be kind of stuck in there. You might have to grab it with a pair of pliers, push it in, twist it to the side, pull it out. And once you get that done, you just hit this nut right here. It's usually a 17 or an 18. Now the nut's removed. It was actually a 21 millimeter. Next, you would take your steering wheel removal tool and, well, not really sure where you put it on this one. Anyways, you need to grab it somewhere. Grab it. Maybe, I don't know, you're gonna have to use a puller. Anyways, I'm just using a hammer and a punch right here. I'm just gonna remove the steering wheel that way, but you have to be careful not to mess up your threads if you're gonna be reinstalling your steering wheel. Now we're looking at the underside of the steering column. Normally there's some screws under here to remove. I don't see any here. Possibly they've already been removed or may just be clipped together. Yeah, anyways, the next thing you have to remove to get this cover off is this little tilt handle right here. I just took a screwdriver. You want to be careful not to break it. And just popped it off like that. It pulls straight out. Alright, it looks like you're supposed to pull this plastic piece away from these little clips. And there's one on this side, but I broke it off. Doesn't matter, this is a junk column. Once you take this piece off the top, this bottom piece will just lift off. Now to get the top part off, there's a few clips, but we're looking at the bottom side still. There's a little reverse Torx bolt there. It's an E6 socket, so it's here's the socket. It's like a Torx, but inverse. Socket's called an E6. I got a set of them at I can't remember, maybe Harbor Freight. Anyways, just get your E6 on there. You might be able to use a standard socket if you can't get a hold of one of these. Once that E6 is removed, it just lifts off. I think there's a couple plastic clips you gotta pull off maybe. But that's the column cover. Looks like a 4mm standard socket fits it. So it didn't require much torque, so it shouldn't strip it. If you can't get one of those inverse torque sockets, then you can use a 4mm to get it off. Got the column right side up now, and as you can see, to remove the clock spring, you'll need a pair of no, I forgot the name. These snap ring pliers. That's it. Got a brain fart. All right. So you're gonna need your snap ring pliers. Just take that little snap ring off, and the clock spring should just slide off. Now we got the clock spring out. There was a little tie wrap I had to cut right here. You want to be careful not to turn the clock spring while it's out of the vehicle, or you could damage it when it's reinstalled. If you accidentally have turned it, most of these have about 5.5 to 6.5 turns. Carefully turn it all the way to one side, and then turn it about 3 turns back. And you can set it back on your steering column. And I believe the wires come out the bottom. You could probably look back in the video and see that, but the best way to do this is not turn it at all once you've taken it off, so you can just put it back on the same way it came off. Next, if you're trying to remove your headlight wiper control, there's a what is that? T25 right here, and a T25 right here at the bottom. Just remove those two and it should come off. Now that it's off, if you're trying to remove this, got a little clip tab you gotta pry up right there. There's one you gotta pry up right there. And there's a third little plug right here that you'll have to remove. Now if you're removing, for some reason, this whole wire assembly, go all the way back to the plug. There's a little tab right here on the front. If you insert a screwdriver in this groove right here and push it out, this sides of this plug will actually come out from this way, from the top. You shouldn't need to remove those though if you're just changing your wiper and headlight and flasher control. Now, if you're changing your ignition, let's actually move this over here. If you're changing your ignition, you're going to need to remove this little plastic thing here. There's a little ring, I don't know if you can see that there, that has to be removed. There. You have to put pressure on this plate. You're going to need your steering wheel removal kit. Should come with one of these and one of these, or two of these. And you're going to thread that on. Going to put this on there, or however you please. And you're going to put that bolt and tighten it. This is going to hold that back and allow you to remove that small ring. Once you remove that ring, this whole piece will come forward. Now this is a junk column, so I'm just going to break that plastic piece so I can get to the T25s behind it. I think there's one on the top and one on the bottom. And once I get those off, let's see. That should release the ignition. There's a third screw I missed, another T25. If you're looking at the ignition, it's just behind it right there where my thumb is. And that will release your ignition. This whole piece. If you need to change that. Yeah. And that's how you break down the column. The rest of this is just scrap. Yeah. Alright. That's how you break down the column on a 2005 Chevy Trailblazer.